maybe you might see a link. Gunmen abduct 6 defense ministry directors in Kogi State.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow. What were they doing in Kogi State? They're supposed to be in Abuja. So
yes,
why were they in Kogi State?
They were, I think they were traveling from Lagos to Abuja for a directorate level promotion examination.
Oh.
Yes, and the incident occurred on Monday along the Kaba Lokoja Abuja highway in a suspected ambush.
The exam was taking place in Kogi State.
Yes.
Or was it just a coincidence so that they were the ones abducted, or
they were the ones abducted,
or premeditated?
Well, I don't really understand that incident, which has sent shockwaves through the Ministry of Defense and the Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, sparked renewed concerns over the safety of public servants traveling long distances for official duties. It is not only public servants, Nigerians. Yes, Nigerians.
Officials of the Ministry of Defense. That's why I'm saying that was this is just mere coincidence or premeditated?
Well,
in a way, we're targeting officials of the Ministry of Defense. Again, this would get to the American authorities, and the fact that they are officials of our Ministry of Defense. So once this gets to the hearing of the Americans, they might also say that we are still not doing enough.
Yes, sir. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Defense has reportedly intensified efforts, however, to locate the victims, deploying specialized security teams to comb suspected hideouts around Kogi State.
So it's to what is happening presently with events unfolding presently on the global scene regarding us.
Yes.
I'm sure the era when these people will now have to spend months and months in the custody of their, I guess that will be over.
Inside the bush.
So either way, their release must be secured, even if it means paying on some, and if it means rescuing them through covert military operations.
I'm sure they will be rescued. Yes, I am sure.
And regarding the matter of our borders, well, while the House of Reps are looking into budgetary allocations meant to ensure proper policing of the borders, I also want to ask Bimbo, I do not know if we have revoked that policy, visa on arrival, that enacted by the previous administration, that encourages every criminal from over West Africa to come flocking to Nigeria, where we declared open season for everyone that is a killer. Of course, the previous government said it was to encourage trade, it was to encourage people with good intentions. But what I did not, but what baffled me at that time was that could it be that the previous government did not know that bad people will be coming too?
Yes.
Considering the situation, the circumstances at that time, we still persist till now. And I'm sure we've had more of these evil men coming into our country when we declared open season, like I said, for criminals. So while looking into this, the reps must also look into that matter, that very controversial policy of visa on arrival.
Well, I am sure the government knows the implications, but you know, government, our politicians, National Assembly members, ministers, executive council, legislature, they know the implications of all these things, but they will still go ahead to do it. That is my own opinion. I'm sure they know that evil people, criminals, will come in with that visa on arrival policy that you mentioned.
But President,
yes.
Okay.
Before we go to the president's, there is tension. I don't know, in the House. Yes, tension over the 2026 budget was stalled proceedings at the House of Representatives on Tuesday, as lawmakers abruptly adjourned plenary without considering a single item on the day's order paper, and it was an unusual development. Last witnessed only when the chamber suspended sittings in honor of a deceased member. Lawmakers exchanged heated words in the closed-door session that preceded the adjournment, foiling speculation of growing divisions within the House over the handling of the budget process. You see what I always say, a trivial issue that can be, addressed by honorable, yes, honorable members of the House of Representatives. They are old people there. They are, you know, people with intelligence there, and they are now fighting over how to handle the budget process. What is the big deal over handling a budget process?
Yeah, well, but it's quite unusual of them to disagree over these things. So two things. It's either they are beginning to act, like I said before, truly as our representatives, or there is something beyond, beneath the surface that we are not seeing. Like I said, it's unusual of them. The last administration, the National Assembly, they said they didn't have any issues being called rubber stamp. They said, you know, the Speaker of the House, the President of the Senate at that time said they don't care if Nigerians they got them rubber stamp. Because stating, short of them telling us that they were not there to serve the interest of Nigerians, but rather the interest of the CNC. The president of the country. So, like I said, it's two ways. So, we need to actually get to the roots of what went amiss, what is the bone of contention here. Because usually, when these things are forwarded to them regarding the budget, it's usually a done deal. So, I'm curious and at the same time surprised that this time around they are bickering amongst themselves. But something tells me, I may be wrong, Bimbo, I may be hasty in jumping to conclusions, but I have a feeling that it's really not about us. It's not because they love us.
They are interested.
So something, you know, something, there must be something, reason, like I said, beneath the surface, why they seem to be fighting themselves over especially the 2026 budget. The last time also, they were also a budget 2024, a budget 2025. They also had issues, and they were actually short of a shouting match amongst them.
Yes.
The implementation of those two budgets.
Two budgets, yes. Well, Tuesday's other paper contained 30 bills for the first reading, 16 reports for consideration, 8 bills for second reading, and 6 motions slated for consideration and possible adoption. And proceedings commenced with the arrival of Speaker Tajudeen Abbas and other principal officers, after which the lawmaker went into a closed-door executive session that lasted for about an hour. And although no official statement, official explanation was provided, sources within the chamber suggested that the session centered on the expiration of the one-week ultimatum issued to the Ministers of Finance, Budget and National Planning, as well as the Accountant General of the Federation, to clear outstanding debts owed to indigenous contractors.
Okay, it's beginning to become gradually clearer. You know, the contractors, they've been at loggerheads with the government, and they went protesting at the National Assembly. Okay. All right. Now, still on the matter of insecurity, and Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State was at Arewa House, and that's in Kaduna, and they say we will defeat insecurity. Others advocate stronger unity, list gains of renewed hope agenda. Again, this is good from southern Nigeria to northern Nigeria. So shows that we are coming together. We're showing a deeper sense of responsibility. But while I'm happy about these developments, it also feels sad that it has to take someone from outside to actually make us begin to take our leaders to begin to take these things seriously. And respected international diplomat, technocrat, Professor Bolaji Akemi, former external affairs minister, is also saying that President Tinubu must show determination to flush out Boko Haram sympathizers from the military. And I think former President Goodluck Jonathan was the one who first made any really elaborate statements regarding that the presence of Boko Haram sympathizers within the military. He also said they were within his government, though he refused to name names at the time. So a very good piece of advice coming from Professor Bolaji Akemi. Indeed, they must be flushed out, because one must know that they are actually within the high command of the military. And why do I say this? We've had stories before. Arms, I've said it before on this platform, arms that were meant for the Nigerian military, and we had allegations by the soldiers out there on the field, that any time they are able to neutralize these elements. And the weapons they find on them, the dead bodies of the terrorists, brand new rifles that will be marked NA.
NA, yes. Nigerian Army.
And so it means rifles that were meant for the army found its way into the wrong hands, found its way into the hands of the terrorists.
Through whom?
So that's the big question. So I think Professor Bolaji Akiyemi hitting the nail on the head, and his words having found their mark, and the government must do the needful.
Yes, Tola, there's this story that will interest you. Talking about the NNPCL probe, the 210 trillion naira, that got missing somehow. Now, the Senate has rejected the NNPCL's explanation and is insisting that the firm must refund the money to government.
What was the explanation that was rejected?
Let me just go through. Now, the Senate has rejected the explanations offered by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, in the investigation into the 2010 trillion outstanding against the oil company. It came to the conclusion on Tuesday that the money which had not been accounted for must be refunded to the federal account by the company. Well, the Public Accounts Senate Committee took the decision after the Group Chief Executive Officer of the NNPCL, Mr. Bayudrai, failed to turn up at its resumed sitting at the National Assembly. Well, that means no real explanations were given. And Tuesday's session was called to give the NNPCL the opportunity to make clarifications on the answers the company provided to the 19 questions the panel asked the firm about the 210 trillion naira. And after weeks of back and forth between the committee and the NNPCL, the latter eventually answered the 19 questions. But at Tuesday's session, with the absence of Oluyole, whom the committee said gave no reasons for staying away, the panel gave its verdict on the answers by rejecting the explanations. Well, I think he gave some explanations earlier, but he refused to appear for the verdict last week, Tuesday.
Well, I don't know what manner of explanation would be satisfactory enough. 210 trillion naira if they are insisting that that money is missing. But obviously, maybe the NNPCL is trying to say that the money never went missing, and they are offering some explanations, which of course has not been satisfactory to the lawmakers.
Yes, so many explanations there. Yes, talking about subsidy claims and all others.
If only we can address corruption in this country. It wouldn't be a matter of insecurity. The embers of insecurity are also being fueled by corruption. People wanting to feed off the challenge of insecurity. People don't wanting to feed off the blood of those being killed. Corruption in the top hierarchy of the military. Corruption regarding funding of military operations against terrorism. Corruption regarding the efforts to keep evil men away from our borders. So that is the key factor. If only we can address and bring it down to the barest minimum, then not only the area of insecurity, we would be winning the war in every aspect of our battle against evil in this country. And I mean all forms of evil: economic evil, evil in the health sector. I'm not talking about principalities and powers of darkness. I'm talking about that evil which we have brought upon ourselves
yes.
As a people. And then we must, of course, be united in fighting these evils, like I said.
And still talking fuel now. Sorry, Tola. This one says... I think it is talking about the fuel tariff, yes. The Peering Advocacy and Advancement Center in Africa has urged the federal government to delay the planned introduction of a 15% import tariff on petrol and diesel, warning that the move could trigger a sharp rise in pump prices and worsen the current economic hardship. And the organization said the policy should not be implemented until domestic refining capacity reaches at least 80% of national demand. Domestic refining capacity. Are we still refining? Maybe
Dangote is refining.
Dangote is refining. Then some local refineries.
And there are some little pockets of refineries that are there. Then, but let's have this commercial break, and we'll be back.
This line not moving. Sorry, ma. The network is a bit slow.
Don't lose customers to long queues. With the First Money Merchant POS, every checkout is fast, reliable, and instantly settled.
Finally, quick and easy.
Get your First Money Merchant POS now on www.firstbanknigeria.com/get-your-POS or at any First Bank branch close to you. First Bank, you first.
èyíkéyìí ọkọ̀ tó bá ń wà. onílò àbò tó péye. máa dágunlá jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mú bí o. níbikíbi tó bá wà ló fún ojúlówó. ó yá sọ pé. jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mú bí o. lóbi ní ṣúlẹ̀ ọjọ́. jẹ́ kó jẹ́ mú bí o. lọ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó.
All right, we are back, and the program is still conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM.
Tola, I want you to just listen to this and then let me understand. According to the that was during a press conference in Abuja, the executive director of the PAACA that are clamoring for the government not to implement the 15% increase. Yes, Ezenwa Nwago. He said data show that domestic refining is not yet sufficient to meet national demand, and forcing importers out of market will lead to scarcity and higher prices. And according to him, imported petrol currently lands at about 802 naira per litre, while locally refined products land at 929 naira 72 kobo per litre. And he said adding a 15% tariff would further increase costs, pushing the pump price up by between 140 naira and 165 naira per litre across the country. Okay, I'm beginning to get that now. And you notice that the Dangote refinery, which the policy appears set to favor, currently supplies about 40% of national demand and still imports components for its own blending, making the case for import restriction premature.
You know, exactly my reservations regarding this policy, which in any case, manufacturers and real sector operators in the country have hailed as a very good policy. But like I said, my reservations regarding the workability, the functioning of the nation's refineries. We can only savour the gains of this 15% tariff hike on imported refined petroleum products if and only if the refineries begin to work properly. But I don't know the kind of confidence that, like I said, the manufacturers and the real sector operators do have. And the government also, I do not know what kind of confidence they have. They seem to have that confidence that the refineries will work and that the needful that would complement this effort would be done. But then, to me, again, it's like placing the cart before the horse. Remember the time when we decided to ban certain categories of food items, the importation of certain category of food items without properly encouraging local production. So, well, I hope this also would not end up being counterproductive. You know, the cost of living is also going to rise again. Whatever gains we have made by reducing the cost of food or cost of living which is still not good enough as we speak. But whatever gains you have made, whatever false strides you have been able to make could be eroded if we do not do the needful regarding the refineries. Okay, Bimbo, you are close, very close to becoming a grandpa, Bimbo, and that means advancement in age. And of course, I know you want to avoid all the avoidable symptoms and ailments and infirmities of old age. So, and I know you are very proactive, Bimbo. So I begin to understand sometimes during your free moments at work and why you would be in your office and then would be hearing the subtle blaring, not loud blaring, but the subtle blaring of oldies music.
Yes.
Music from the 70s.
I know where you are going.
So ABBA, Bonnie M. Sometimes when I'm passing by, I hear that.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. No, sometimes I wonder, but then I think I am beginning to get the answer now. But I thought maybe you just like their music and your free moments and them. But then I think I begin to get, looking at this headline, Bimbo. It says music may help reduce dementia by up to 40%, and that's according to a study.
According to a study. Go through that story.
So now that you are about to become a grandpa, you want to avoid, but you are not likely to be a victim of that. And then, okay,
possible.
Yeah, of course. People who always listen to music have a 39% lower risk of developing dementia, while those who play a musical instrument experience a 35% reduction in risk. You also have a guitar, Bimbo. What happened to that guitar, Bimbo? Researchers in an Australian-led study of more than 10,800 older people found that people who regularly engage with music have significantly lower rates of cognitive decline, with daily music listeners showing up to a 39% reduced risk of developing dementia. They reported that those who always listen to music also had a 17% lower incidence of cognitive impairment, as well as higher scores in overall cognition and episodic memory used when recalling everyday events. But Bimbo, you are Baba Kebe, so it's not likely that you are. But maybe you don't want to take any different.
I just like music. Yes, and I don't trouble myself. I don't keep things on my mind. Anything that comes on my mind, I will just say, God, just help me. And people who put things on their mind, don't listen to music, are just so rigid. Yes, maybe those are those ones that and it depends on the kind of music. Is it Akpala or Fuji Juju, Haruna Ishola, or Baba 70, Anekola Pokuti, Baba 70, yes.
Now, by the way, Bimbo, when Mr. John and the other highly esteemed listeners, so when they see you, they might think that not knowing you originally, they might think that they are looking at a teenager, not knowing that they are looking at a grandpa in the next few years. All right, that's just on a lighter note. Okay, moving on now. Well, the FCT minister here, some wiki, is in the news again, and then
yes.
He was trying to do what he was employed to do as FCT minister. Well, and it looks like he had a brush with the military. Some soldiers got in his way.
One ex-naval chief.
And trust Mr. Wike, he was very, very angry. It's not the first time we're having a brush with the authorities regarding trying to prevent illegality, trying to prevent whereby some people will try to stand the law, turn the law upside down or stand the law on its edge. When he was governor of Rivers State, and there was an attempt to abduct a judge, commando-like, by I think it was the DSS at that time, or DFC, I can't remember. He went there in person, and then he stood between those people and the judge, and refused, and he said that he insisted that even if the judge had questions to answer, things must be done the proper way. Okay, Wike military officers clash over alleged illegal land development. Okay, Federal Capital Territory Minister Barrister Yesom Wike and some naval officers sent to guard a piece of land deemed illegal by the FCTA administration, allegedly belonging to a former Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Awal Gambo, retired, clashed on Tuesday. Officers of the FCTA's Department of Development Control, in collaboration with a task force comprising security agencies, had gone to plot 1946, located in Gadua district of the nation's capital, Abuja, to stop work on the land, only to meet a stiff and almost physical resistance from naval officers. There was a standoff and exchange of words between the minister and Naval Lieutenant A.M. Yarima. Awal Gambo served under the administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari briefly in 2021. When the FCT minister arrived at the place to ascertain the situation on ground, Naval Lieutenant Yarima, was acting on orders, blocked him from gaining access into the land. At that point, a scuffle ensued between security operatives attached to the minister and the military men loyal to the ex-naval chief. The young officer stood up to the minister, telling him that he was acting on orders from above. The minister, after making and receiving calls, turned back from the spot where the military officers blocked him, but vowed that he would not allow the illegal development to go on. So it took the efforts and presence of the FCT Commissioner of Police, Mila Dan Tawayi, to bring the situation under control. Wike, while speaking with newsmen after the incident, insisted that the retired naval officer, Vice Admiral Gambo, does not have any paper or approval to develop the land, but wants to grab the land by intimidation, and that he would not allow it. He said, "You are aware that the land departments and development control were mandated to see where illegal development was going on and land grabbing. And when this was brought to my attention, I did instruct them to make sure that nothing must take place, in as much as they did not have any legal paper in terms of regional approval or even the acquisition of the land. And when they came here, I was informed that the soldiers of the military had to chase them away, and I thought probably they will be acting illegally." Well, it goes on and on. And well, I would like to hear what the retired Vice Admiral has to say for himself. But what we are seeing here, Bimbo, I think we should all stand on the side of the law on this. Even if the Vice Admiral, even if he has a grouse, and even if he feels it's right on certain grounds, the proper thing would be to proceed to the law courts. This is illegality as he cites. As for the naval lieutenant, I do not want to blame him. He was acting on orders.
Yes.
He did what he was told to
do. Yes.
He's a soldier.
Obey the last order.
He has to obey. So I think Mr. Wike and the FCT authorities must get to the bottom of this.
Now, Tola, you remember Ikuri Amadu? Senate President, the Deputy Senate President, Ikuri Amadu, who was,
went to jail.
Yes, for organ trafficking. Well, yes, the President General of the Coalition of Southeast Youth Leaders, Goodluck Ibem, backed the federal government's move to have former Deputy Senate President Ikuri Amadu serve the remainder of his prison sentence in Nigeria. And Ikuri Amadu was convicted in the United Kingdom for organ trafficking after attempting to bring a 21-year-old Lagos street vendor to Britain for a kidney transplant for his daughter Sonia.
Okay, moves have been made now, but that, I guess that's to ensure that he walks free. He will come back to Nigeria, at most maybe a month or 2 months in jail, and then he will be granted pardon. And
of course, maybe when he gets to the correctional center, he will be given presidential treatment. Now,
he may not even spend time in the correctional center at all. They'll give us the impression that he's there. But as time goes on, you hear that he has been pardoned. Elections are around the corner, and if he still has some electoral value, of course, then eventually, well, coming from the United States now, if this sails through, okay, it's in the UK. If this sails through, well, it might come in covertly, but eventually, you would see just the people. Once we get wind that is in the country and that he has been put in a particular correctional center, like I said, that's not going to last. Then you'll see some people coming out, maybe hundreds or thousands, showing solidarity, to show solidarity, to show that they are happy with him. You know the way it always is.
Yes, especially this particular group, Southeast Youth Leaders. Yes,
maybe that those
and some other groups
to mobilize solidarity marches and rallies for him, and then of course after a while he will be set free, that he has been pardoned, and that will be the end of it. They are just trying to ensure that he doesn't serve out the rest of his sentence. And
well, he was actually sentenced to 9 years and 8 months under the Modern Slavery Act in May 2023 and remains in prison, while his wife, Beatrice, received 4 years and 6 months and was released early in 2025.
So how much time has Senator Kerimadu spent, and are there any hope, aside this effort being made to ensure that he serves the rest of his sentence in Nigeria, is there any hope that he might be released anytime soon?
Yes, I think, well, the federal government is putting all machinery in place to ensure that he comes back to Nigeria and serves the rest of his prison term in Nigeria under strict supervision.
Oh, we'll see. All right, you also have gridlock on Lagos Border Expressway keeps many stranded for hours. And customs discovered 29.4 billion naira cocaine inside export boxes at PTML terminal. Bibo,
which one is PTML terminal?
Well, PTML. I think that has to do with the ports. So in as much as I want to commend the NDLE and its current leader for doing a very good job, but I still don't know why every day we open the pages of newspapers, these things always seem to be on the increase. It should be decreasing. All right, now let's open the phone lines. Our time is fast spent. And we have our first caller here.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Dimbola.
Babade Dayo from Okeo.
Thank you, God bless you, and I greet my friend and brother, Tola.
Good morning, Baba.
You know, that's your name. I have somebody near me that, Tola.
Oh.
So when you are teaching us in primary school, word and comparative and superlative, say tall, taller, tallest. So I quickly associate it with the one that is close to it, that is bearing taller. So, so it will be better for you, both of you, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Timbola talked of the House of Rep members that they had a sharp disagreement among themselves, leading to their stopping the House proceedings. And Bimbo is worried about that the House is full of people of intelligence, brilliance, and experience. Why should they descend so low? Well, it might be true, they possess all those qualities. But what about the condition of the heart? People say the heart of the matter is the matter of the heart. We still talk about corruption. In trillions of naira to fuel money and all forms of corruption in this country. Not that the people don't have intelligence and other things like that, but they use it in the negative because of the corrupt heart. So no matter the qualifications of an individual, if he has a corrupt heart, he will spoil, and scatter everything. So I pray that God will give us leaders of good, righteous heart. In conclusion, music can reduce dementia. Yes, it's true. Thank God for music. It removes or reduces tension. It makes one happy. It relaxes muscles. Music, good music for that matter, it works wonders. One remembers the case of King Saul, who was terribly ill in the heart, in the mind, in the head, and David will play musical instrument for him, and they will recover. So it works wonders. So Tola, I want you to join Bimbo in listening to good music.
Okay.
Thank you. I did that do from okay.
Thank you
very much.
070-5555-1985.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning.
My name is Abba of the Street Population.
Good to have you, sir.
I think I overheard the Mr. Fala saying that the National Assembly is now being alive to their responsibilities and so pessimistic about that kind of statement. Okay. They are so corrupted. They are compromised. The money they have at their disposal can never allow them to speak the truth.
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hello? Oh.
Hello?
Oh, please do well to call us back. We can no longer hear you. There seems to be a challenge with the network there. 070-5555-1985. Also try us on 082-5500-9850. Well, what I meant regarding the lawmakers is that, well, it's not as if they suddenly love us, but then they are being compelled to do what they are supposed to be doing. I mentioned it, that it's quite sad that it has to take the threats from someone outside the country to make them, to keep them back on their toes.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good to have you, sir.
What happened yesterday between Ricky and the naval officer was a reflection of this society. What we have been talking about before this day, that politicians, leaders in this country, they are not allowing us to work. They destroy the civil service so that everything will be ascribed to that I did this, I did that. Now, this thing will now come to haunt them. That is when they now begin to make noise. Both the officer and Minister Wiki were around yesterday. In the first instance, the officer was not supposed to be there. It's a civil case. If your boss who sent you there have any case with the FCC, you should approach the court. Not that he will second, and the man is even retired. He's a retired naval officer. So, like a retired mirror. So, because you are a retired mirror, you can do whatever you want on a land that is illegally acquired. In that kind of situation. But they believe that's the best thing to do. Just to say the laws of the land and all that. Then Minister Wiki too. When they told you that the soldiers did not allow your people to work, what you're supposed to have done is serve them paper and approach the court. So after you approach the court, this morning, that man should just be arrested. The admiral will be arrested by the police. That's what they do. They'll be arrested by the police and charged to court. Because you have prevented the government officials from working. You are not supposed to be there to calling somebody fool, you are a bastard, that kind of everything. It's paper language. So all those things are not supposed to be. But this Nigeria, you just do whatever you want. And we want this country to develop. You can. So thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, we'll take another break. We'll be back.
If person ask you, say, wetin be the game where they totori you pass, you go tell them, say na better know all the time. No go dull yourself, make you follow join for the ogbonge betting options, fast cash out, missions wey dey engaging, and get welcome bonus wey fit reach 200,000 naira. Better know the game don start. Make you dey bet responsibly. Na only for people wey don pass 18 years. Better know na proud partner of Aston Villa.
Ball, I beg you get change. I won't give customer.
I don't get to. Get First Money Merchant POS. Let customers pay with cards and never miss a sale. Don't let no change cost you sales. With First Money Merchant POS, enjoy fast payments, instant settlement, and secure transactions. Visit any First Bank branch or sign up on www.firstbanknigeria.com/get your POS to get yours today. First Bank, you first.
Any motor where you dey drive, you need confirm protection, no, for your engine, no. Make a mobile, make it mobile, oh, make it mobile, yeah. Anywhere you dey, the motor deserve to be number one, yo. Make it mobile, oh, make it mobile, yeah. You carry the go, make everybody join me, say, make it mobile,
Make you go with the best.
make it mobile.
Right, we're back, and the program is still conversation on Oluyole 98.5 FM. Well, one last call.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. John.
John calling from Ilori. I've always known Mr. Bimbo not to be a small man. I know he's progressing to. I shouldn't even be a grandpa now because I remember I met him during the Modakeke Ife crisis where he was covering the crisis. Well, I run into trouble then. So I can remember very well. I can never read him and call him a small man. Quickly, on the weekend and the Lieutenant Colonel issue yesterday, the military don't have enough manpower to man our borders and our territory, but they have enough manpower to be guiding the land, either acquired legally or illegally by their junior officer. They have enough manpower to be guiding their house. They have enough manpower to be guiding their property. This is what I'm saying yesterday. It is high time we withdraw those kind of security distance. Once you are retired, they should only leave you with one military man. Whether you have 10,000 property, doesn't matter. Enjoy your day. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. John.
Thank you, Mr. John.
I did not even remember that during the Ife Modakeke war then. Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. John.
Right, we have to go, and we'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
And my name is Bimbo Akombi. Thank you very much for listening. Enjoy your day.
Better than anyone else.
Money doesn't come from heaven. Do better till money go come. The true one that they tell you so.
This is 98.5. Today's greatest hits.
Are you done talking? Tell me, baby, are you done talking? Yeah.
Our promise, less talk. Oluyole 98.5 FM.
Waiting they happen, waiting they share, we want no. She na winch, I been landing, no matter their plan, no, we go still they fly. Where you do? Where you do? Where you do? I can't leave me to tell me where you do. You need me to tell me where you do. I need me to tell me where you do. Tijani, make you tell me where you do.
Yeah, so good morning, sports fans. You're listening to Sporting Beat right on Oluyole 98.5 FM. I've decided to come in with this evergreen song. Super Eagles, Sky Eagles song from our star Nomi Lado. As you know, this week, in fact, 24 hours time, the Super Eagles will be fighting out against the Panthers of